President Biden made the announcement today. Also, a stimulus update as we now have more information. Let's get right into it. But if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and so I can keep you updated each and every day, as that is my commitment to you and this community to do all the research and to break it all down, to bring you all of the honest, accurate, reliable, and transparent information each and every day in these short videos. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into the update. All right, so one quick side note on the updates here. I want to give you another quick update on something else that's going on around the world. So over the last few days here, I've been talking about lockdowns that have been happening in China. Well, here's the deal. Now they have just announced another 9 million people to go into lockdown in the city of Shanghai. So apparently they're doing like a two-phase lockdown. Starting today, they're locking down a half of the city, and then starting on April 1st, they're going to lock down the other half of the city. So there's a lot of people in lockdown in China right now as a result of the new waves of COVID that are going around. So apparently this thing is far from over as of right now, but China also has a very strict policy on COVID, and basically their policy is zero COVID. So anyway, just want to keep you updated on that because it is very interesting. Here we are 2 years into this thing, actually more than that, and we're still dealing with lockdowns in some areas around the world. So anyway, this will likely lead to more supply chain issues and probably even increased prices on many things out there, just like we're already dealing with. So anyway, I like to keep you updated with things that are going on around the world as well as right here in this country. All right, so let's quickly talk about what President Biden announced today, and then of course I will talk about some more stimulus information as we do have some new updates and some more information to share with you right here in this video. Alright, so as I announced yesterday evening, President Biden was scheduled to come out today and announce his 2023 fiscal year federal budget. Well, in that video yesterday, I said that it's probably going to be anywhere between about 1.5 and $2 trillion. Well, I was kind of anticipating the total package would be about that amount. Well, I'm going to be honest with you, I was way off. It came in at $5.8 trillion. So yeah, I was way off on that one. But here's the deal. Here's what it came down to, is out of that $5.8 trillion, about $4.3 trillion of that money is actually just federal spending that's going to be happening anyway from many programs, including like Social Security benefits, Medicaid, all of these things like this. So that encompasses the vast majority of that bill. However, there is $1.598 trillion of what they call discretionary spending. In other words, basically spending that is not necessarily required, but rather it is just kind of like a wish list, I guess you could call it. So there is still 1.598, so just under $1.6 trillion of discretionary spending. Some people may refer to this as like fun money. You know, some people say like they have discretionary money or discretionary income and they call it fun money. Well, you could kind of call this nearly $1.6 trillion kind of essentially the same thing. Now, again, that's not necessarily what it is. It's not necessarily fun money. But again, I'm just kind of giving you an analogy based on what this discretionary spending kind of, what it kind of comes down to. Anyway, here's what the key takeaway is out of this. Now, there's a lot of different programs in here. There's a lot of different things within this list that the president wants to focus on with the extra $1.6 trillion. Now, that's the money that we really need to focus on because realistically, the other $4.3 trillion or thereabout is pretty much already spoken for with other federal spending and other programs, things like that. So we can't really focus on that. We need to focus on the nearly 1.6 trillion because that's where things could be coming in for the American people. Let me break this down for you because there is one key line in this that I want to point out for you that actually could lead to additional maybe benefits or maybe money, things like that. So I want to lay that out for you. So out of this nearly $1.6 trillion, there's $813 billion for defense spending, and then there's the other $760+ billion that's in there for other programs, including the establishment of new social programs. That's the line that we want to watch very closely. New social programs, in other words, means maybe some kind of extra benefits, maybe some kind of extra checks, maybe a new social program being like, hey, a guaranteed basic income program on a nationwide level. I'm not really sure what they mean by these extra or additional social programs or the availability with this money to set up new social programs, but that's exactly what social programs are. Essentially helping out those people who are low income, who are fixed income, who are essentially around the poverty line, maybe at the poverty line, maybe 150% of the poverty line, maybe 200% of your income is the poverty line, things like this. So again, when they talk about social programs like that, essentially they mean setting up new programs to get money and or benefits into the pockets of those people who are low income, fixed income, or struggling Americans. So when I saw that line, I thought, oh, there's the money line right there. So like I said, I'm not really sure what they're actually focusing on as far as what they're planning on doing with that extra, say, $760 some billion, but they did indicate that they want to have that extra money in there for social programs. That's a good thing. So again, I'll continue digging into this more and see what else I can find as far as where they want to focus that money and how they want to distribute it or who they want to distribute it to and what kind of programs they may want to establish. So again, that's a big amount of money there. So almost $800 billion. So remember, to get a $2,000 stimulus check for 50 million people would only cost $100 billion. So there's plenty of money there available if they just so wanted to do that. So anyway, just want to let you know, and again, the president announced that a little bit earlier today. So just on schedule, just as we talked about yesterday evening, and as I let you know that the president would be coming out unveiling this massive plan here. So anyway, that is for the 2023 fiscal year, which will be starting here in just a handful of months. October 1st is when the new fiscal year begins. So anyway, a lot of good stuff in there. And again, I'll dig into it a little bit deeper here and bring you more updates on that. Also, let me quickly give you an update on stimulus. Yes, there is some more information out there. So here's what's interesting. I just came across a new report today that is saying that there is likely going to be a massive spike in poverty in the United States. Why? Because it's 2022? Well, yeah, I guess that could be one of the reasons. But no, the main reason is for actually three main points here. So I want to lay these 3 points out for you. As we just talked about the other day, over 48 million people are currently living in poverty in the United States right now. At the same time, they also reported that nearly 12 million people have fallen back into poverty just in the last 12 months, and yet again, they're anticipating millions more people to fall into poverty this year in 2022. Well, they actually broke it down to 3 main reasons why they anticipate millions more people to fall into poverty this year in 2022, so I do want to run through those 3 main reasons for you right now. All right, so main reason number 1 is the lack of stimulus checks. The last stimulus check that we received was a year ago, back in March and April of 2021. Well, as a result of that, millions of people have fallen behind on many bills, utility bills, rent payments, mortgage payments, and all kinds of other bills right now. A lot of people are also floating balances on credit cards, borrowing money, personal loans, friends, family, things like this. Well, as a result of that, with all of this inflation that continues to rage significantly higher right now, it's almost impossible for many people to get ahead right now or even pay down some of the loans or some of the bills that they've had stacking up here, simply because the more money that you have going out the door just to account for all of this inflation means it's less money that you can put toward paying down some of those bills or other balances or catching up on things like mortgage payments, rent payments, utility bills, things like that. So the simple fact that millions and millions of people have fallen behind so significantly here over the last year, and yet again, the last stimulus check was too little, too late, and realistically at this point, it's definitely too late now, but who knows if they were to actually do something, would it be too little? Well, we don't really know that quite yet because we're not really sure if Congress will do something or if they do, how much it would actually be, but the deal is it's certainly way too late as of now, but like I've always said, late is certainly better than never. So anyway, that is reason number 1. They're simply saying another stimulus check or multiple stimulus checks is very much needed right now to help out all the people who have really gotten far behind here over the last year, 2 years or so. And we really got to help all these people out getting ahead of everything going on right now. And as a result of that, if additional support does not come, we could be seeing millions and millions of people falling into poverty simply because they can't get ahead anymore, right? Or at least they can't even get caught up. So anyway, that's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is inflation. Yes, I know we've talked about inflation a lot lately, but realistically, it is a thing that is impacting literally every single person. So I know that it's impacting me, and I'm guessing it's impacting you because I see your comments down below. But the deal is inflation is at 40-year highs right now, and what they're saying in these reports is that Congress is doing absolutely nothing about all of this inflation. Congress is doing nothing, the Federal Reserve is doing nothing, and the administration is doing absolutely nothing about inflation, which, by the way, This is not me taking sides. This is the fact of the matter. Regardless of who is in control, the fact is we are dealing with massive inflation right now, and something certainly needs to be done about it. Well, that's basically the reason number two that they were citing in this report, is that inflation is raging and they're doing nothing about it. Therefore, it continues to dig away at our purchasing power of the little bit of money that we have, whether it's from an income, a fixed income benefit like Social Security or SSDI, retirement, survivors, SSI, or VA, low income, doesn't really matter. Whatever your income is and wherever it comes from, all this inflation continues to dig away at it, and it's reducing our purchasing power. Also, reason number three is, and again, I know this does not impact a lot of you out there, but I do know that it does impact millions of people out in the country, which is the stopping or the no longer distribution of the child tax credit payments. So there were a lot of people who were actually waiting for these payments to be resuming here, and even the administration and the press secretary, Jen Psaki, said multiple months ago that, oh, we could be seeing a double payment in the month of February. Well, guess what? February came and went, and there was no double payment. Therefore, they've still once again done absolutely nothing when it comes to resuming these monthly checks. Also, there was talk about potentially instituting an adult tax credit and possibly even giving the option for a monthly check. Well, have we seen it? No, we haven't seen anything yet. So anyway, these are some of the main reasons. These are the three main reasons that were laid out in this report. Yeah, there's a lot going on right now, and realistically, Congress needs to they need to do something. Seriously, there's some big issues on hand right now, and they certainly need to get something done here, because there's a lot of people that are really struggling, and ultimately, if they don't do something and do it quick, a lot more people are going to be struggling relatively soon here, and they got to get something done. So anyway, these are the updates that I have for you as of right now as it pertains to stimulus, the latest reports here, as well as what the president unveiled earlier today in that report for the 2023 fiscal year federal budget. Anyway, as I do get more information on any of this, of course, I'll be right back here for you, breaking it all down to help you out in any way that I possibly can. Please enjoy your day. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other 2,300 plus videos right here on the channel. Enjoy. Thanks again for your support, and I'll catch you again later in the next video. I'll see you for now. See ya.